the Congregation and Corporation of First Presbyterian Church of Bloomsburg to order. God, we are very chatty today. I think it's going to be a great coffee hour when we get there. Madam Clerk, do we have a quorum?
We do.
All right. Let me find my agenda for the third.
No, you just sit down if you're moving.
Yeah, right. we have a quorum. So you should have received via email, and I know there are some copies around somewhere in the room of the annual report. We will have in a moment an opportunity for any questions folks have regarding any specific reports outside of the budget, because that will have its own moment. But first, I would like to turn it over. Oh, you're right. It's there. Yep. All right. Let's have a word of prayer. Loving and gracious God, we thank you for this opportunity to join together, to look back at the work of this church over the last year, to give thanks for all that has been done in your name, and to look ahead to our next year of ministry together. Be with us here in this place as we go through this meeting. Work in our hearts and be among us, God. Amen. Now, I'm going to turn it over to Martha, who is going to highlight in particular the membership report.
Well, just briefly, we started the fiscal year in July 2023 with 139 people, and we ended at 128, let me just see, there's a typo there, 128 people we ended the fiscal year. And there were no baptisms and no weddings, and sadly we experienced the death of 4 elders and a deacon. We lost Elder Robert Ross, Elder Judy Wright, Elder Lynn Davies, Elder Tom Davies, and Deacon Jean Atwood. Jen Alwood, I'm so sorry. And then you do have the minutes from both of our other meetings that have been approved by session, and then there is the report of the clerk in there. If you have any questions, you can either see me later or that's where we are as of the moment.
Thank you, Martha. And we are looking to see if there are some more printed copies. And if we need some, we can probably get a couple printed. Oh, looks like we found one. Are there any questions from folks regarding specific reports of any of the committees? Alrighty. If as you continue to peruse the document, you do have some, feel free to check in with committee leadership or with me in the office or Dylan. If Dylan or I don't know the answer, we will point you to who might. I would entertain a motion to receive the annual report.
So moved.
Is there a second? Alrighty. Is there any question or discussion on the motion?
Pastor Pam, I have one correction today.
Oh, yes.
In the Stewardship of Resources report, it says that there was a surplus of $45,706. That number should read $34,656.
What page, please?
It's on page 11.
So on page 11,
At the
we
bottom
are...
in the second bullet point.
Second bullet point on the bottom of page 11, we are making a correction to the number, the amount of surplus by about $9,000 lower. 11,000, I did the math backwards. Lower. I don't remember the exact numbers, but if anyone would like them to make a note of it, / if you need them again, you can ask Craig. Any other discussion? Okay, do we need a motion to amend the motion because we needed to amend them before? Okay, all right, she says she wouldn't worry, Christine's shaking her head no. So, the motion is on the floor to approve or to accept the annual report. All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no.
And could I please know who seconded that? I hear voices from the corner, but I don't see.
So it was
them.
Bonnie.
Thank you.
Yes. Alrighty, now I am going to turn the microphone over to Craig, who is going to talk us through the budget for this next fiscal year. Yeah, and then this is where if there's any questions about the budget, you will have an opportunity to ask those questions. Craig.
Exactly. So the budget starts on page 18 of the annual report. I just want to draw your attention to a couple of lines. First, I'm very thankful to the congregation and to the work of session. We were able to pass a balanced budget for the 4th year in a row. We are in good financial stead, and I do hope that session continues to pass balanced budgets when I am no longer the president of the corporation and on stewardship of resources, which is next year. So, just so you know. The ones that I want to draw your attention to, line 4300-400 in the revenues. You'll see it stated pastor salary reimbursement. When the budgets were originally created, we were paying money to the table for Pastor Pam's salary, and that has since, Pastor Tremad's salary, thank you. And that has since flipped since Pastor Pam has come on board. And so now the table will be renting our pastor, if you will. That's their words, not
No, that's mine.
that's Pastor Pam's words,
Not theirs, not yours.
So you'll see that we budgeted so where that revenue will be listed in our budget as noted. And then that directly affects, if you turn to page 20, at the very top of the page, 6300, 113, you'll see the SECA line is new. That's since we will be paying SECA as opposed to the table being paying SECA. I don't really know what SECA is. I'm not
Social Security offset.
so the Social Security offset.
Things that regular non-clergy jobs just happen in your paycheck don't happen for clergy. They gotta make it difficult.
And so that is why that line is new in our budget. And then at the bottom of page 19, you'll see 6,200, 400 under community life. We were able to pass a pastor discretionary fund that we budgeted for that will allow Pastor Pam to have some funds to work for the good of the community. And we actually already used that to provide some temporary short-term overnight housing for an unhoused individual before they were able to seek help from an agency. So that is just another line that you'll see there for $3,000 across the year. That will be, Pastor Pam can't just spend it as she sees fit. She has to actually clear those expenses through session under community life and possibly personnel. So the reporting lines are there. There are guardrails, and our pastor will not be spending money willy-nilly as she sees fit. I'm happy to answer any questions as you may have them now. If you have none, I would love to entertain a motion to a question.
This is a comment.
Sure.
And I was reading over this last week. I was impressed by the amount of time this must have taken by the committee. Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome. I'm trying to take on compliments and not be like, no, it's just our job. It is a lot of work. Luckily, I've been able to work with Sue Lewis and Jim Patterson. If y'all have any questions about budgets, talk to Jim. He is a whiz at this stuff. I like to take a little credit for it.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we receive the budget.
I'll second.
You have to actually receive it.
Yes.
I like to entertain it.
You don't get this,
And Craig gets to entertain it, but I get to receive it. So, Millard, you had said you would like to make a motion to receive the budget, correct? Is there a second?
I'll second.
Kathy seconded. Alrighty, are there any questions or discussions regarding the motion? Hearing none, I would, let us vote. All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. All right, the motion carries. Thank you to Craig and the SOR team, Stewardship of Resources team for, yes, all the work that did go into that. The final order of business is I would just like to take a moment to recognize and thank our class of 2024 in our church leadership. Elders Christine Fuller, Barb Gorell, and Sue Lewis all have ended their terms on session. You will be missed. As well as Deacons Harry English, Barry Seidel, Cheryl Seidel, and Susan Webster also. Their terms expired. I believe some of them re-upped, and I know Barb is jumping over to the deacons, so you're never truly done. But thank you all for your service in the class of 2024.
Still nothing? We're good?
Alrighty, just double checking that we were at this point. I would entertain a motion to adjourn. Christine is ready for snacks. Do we have a second? I was like, wow, that took a minute. I believe Dick was the first one to jump in on the second. Yeah. All in favor, please say yes. Yes. Any opposed? Let us close with a word of prayer. God, we thank you again for this time together to look at the work of your church and see and be grateful for all the things that we have done. Be with us as we go into this new fiscal year, and be among us as we continue to do your work here in this church, in this community, in this your world. Amen.